I guess ranting season is not quite over. I really wanted to get back to more of what I do in less rants, but I'm getting stirred up by comments and what's going on in the background about something that's really, really simple and it should be straightforward. And it's really should be common sense. And sometimes you get confused about what's going on, what's really going on, and what's really at the heart of this confusion. So after my 2 or 3 rants that I put up, Field Master Ram did a video, and it should be required viewing for all black women, for black women and black men, because it gets at the heart of what the real problem actually is. And it's something me and Ram have been going back and forth with for at least, I would say at least 6 months, for at least 6 months. And I've been saying this for at least a year on and off in various segments of online and interviews, even in person, because it's something that I've known hell for the last 20 years, maybe the last 30 years. It's something that gamesmen pick up just by experience. It's something that a gamesman know, but it's never ever discussed. It's always discussed from the man's side, but it's something women don't want to admit. But the video that Ram put up, and like I said, should be required viewing for really all black women, because it would clear up a lot of this mess that's going on with this freaking gender war. And the video is why black women attack good black men. And basically, me and Ram sliced through all this bullshit. You know, we've talked about imprinting. I've talked about a woman's sexual history, and we've talked. You know, a lot of women that are good coaches and they're really willing to tell the truth will actually tell you a woman thinks from her womb out, regardless of what all the other rationalization that they throw up and the reasons that they give. A woman really thinks from her womb out. Pickup artists know that. The gamesmen know that. And that's what they prey upon. They use that because women are in denial about their own sexuality and how it affects the rest of their life. Women always ask me, well, how come you don't address the men? I've addressed men on many, many, many videos, but those are the videos that you don't look at. So it doesn't look like I'm addressing men. I got a whole series of esoteric videos that deal with nothing but men. In fact, a lot of people that follow me, a lot of men that are subscribed to me, is subscribed to me for those esoteric videos dealing with them and dealing with manhood. And the first thing I tell them, you have to be like Harry Potter. Why like Harry Potter? Because you can't be a man. You can't be fully actualized till you get control of your fucking wand. That's obvious. A man that can't control his dick is going to have a very, very rocky life, especially in America. A man's dick will get him in more trouble. And trust me, I'm not proselytizing because it happened to me. My dick got me in more trouble than anything else that I've ever done in my whole life. And I tell any young man, you have to get control of your wand first. But I don't hear the same thing coming from women. They don't talk about it. They tap dance around it. And since they don't want to directly confront their own weakness when it comes to their womb and their vagina, they dump all this bullshit on black men. Let me get this out of the way. I could care less what choice you make with your womb. I could care less who you sleep with. But just like men have to take responsibility for their dicks, and trust me, they do, because America makes goddamn sure that you take ownership of your dick and the mistakes that you make with it. I have a whole book just on child support alone. And they have over the past, what is it, 80 years, man, they have enacted or tried to enact 150 laws just on child support alone, making sure that men pay the penalty for misusing their wand. It used to be called shotgun marriages, where they force you to marry the woman because you couldn't control your wand. There has never, ever been something on the other side that penalizes women for not controlling their vaginas. There's a reason that Traditional societies didn't give women the choice of mates. It's called arranged marriages because they knew that women were not responsible with their own sexuality. But this liberal society has decided to treat women like adults, treat women like responsible citizens, and giving them the freedom to choose. They gave them control of their own womb and control of their own sexuality. They gave them birth control methods. They gave them abortions and a whole host of other things to support their freedom and control of their own sexuality. Let's get directly to black women because there's women all over, but let's get directly to black women because they're the worst. How come you have all the freedom to choose, all the freedom over your reproductive life, over your womb, over your sexuality? You still screw up and then expect men to be responsible for your sexuality. You want to make us responsible for who you are attracted to. And like Ram says, you make excuses for what your own personal choice is. I'll give you an example. Men like sluts because sluts are sexually available, but men don't want to marry sluts. Men don't want to have babies by sluts. Men don't want to make a family with sluts for obvious reasons. They make a choice. They hook up with a woman that is not as sexually adventurous or that are not as sexually wild. They make a choice. They control their own sexuality for the greater good. They don't expect women to control their sexuality. Why is it we hear that women know they're attracted to a certain element of men? They have to look a certain way. They have to be a certain way for that man to give them tingles or that man to be sexually attracted to him. And in many ways, they actually say it, but they don't own it. They don't want to be honest with it. They don't want to be honest with the man that they're dating or the man that they want to marry. Why? Because the guy that you're sexually attracted to can't provide you with the lifestyle that you want. So either one of two things: you make the guy miserable that you're marrying, that you're dating, and you're constantly berating him because you're not sexually attracted to him instead of being honest. Say to that guy, you know what? I like the lifestyle. I like what you provide, but I'm not sexually attracted to you. If you're honest, the reason you're not honest is because you know that dude's going to walk away. If you don't lie to him, he's going to walk away. And you have a lot of women, black women especially, lying to men. And the gender war could be essentially over tomorrow if women would just start telling the truth. You want to make a life with and have babies by the men that you are sexually attracted to. That is the bottom line. So it doesn't matter if 10 women are sexually attracted to the same guy and they have babies by that same guy. And the guy winds up having 30 children by 10 different women. And we blame him. We blame him for not being a better guy, right? We don't blame the women for being sexually attracted to the guy. You give all these excuses. Well, he was fun. I thought he was cute. He lied to me and all that other stuff. And it's not true. You were sexually attracted to the guy. And since you were sexually attracted to the guy, you wanted to have children by him. And miss me with that shit. Every woman that I dated that was sexually attracted to me wanted to have my baby. By the grace of God, basically, I only had, I had my 2.5, because I have a stepson. By the grace of God, I didn't have that many, because trust and believe, I probably could have been one of those guys that had 20 kids, which is something I never wanted to have. I had basically 2 kids by the same woman. But that's a tale for another day. Men know the deal. And when a man is sexually attracted to you, he'll accept the lie. Just like you accept the lie when you are sexually attracted to a man. But the thing is, it's 21st century. You have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have all this stuff. You might as well start telling the truth and getting it out of the way. It's not that you want men to be alpha males and leaders so that you can rationalize your choice. You want them to be responsible for your sexuality. Be better, do all these things so I can be sexually attracted to you, so I can get both things in one package. Don't work that way, Cupcake. Got to make a choice. Like my Gnostic sister says, you got to put your fucking big girl panties on and act like an adult. If you are attracted to Pookie and Ray Ray and Abdullah on the block because you are sexually attracted to him, then you need to go be with him. You need to go work with him. You need to go build with him. You need to go have a family with him. And if four of you are attracted to the same guy, you all need to work that out. The Mormons do it all the time. You need to get one big compound and he has his 4 wives or whatever passes for wives. And y'all need to work that out. You need to work that out so that the other guys, especially my guys, who we call the educated lames, can know the truth and make choices for themselves so they can stop trying to uphold and clean up your mess. That's what you want them for. You don't want them because you want to have sex with them. You don't want them because you want to be with them. You want them because they have resources that can help you clean up your mess. You talking about how come black women don't want to follow black men. Every man that's an adult knows, especially men that are mature, that have had children. Every black man knows that if a woman's into you and she's really into you, you don't have to ask her to follow you. Either she's going to do it or she's not going to do it. There is no debate. Just like if you're on a job and you're a supervisor, either that employee is going to follow your direction or the employee is not going to follow your direction. And if that employee is not going to follow your direction, guess what? They face the consequences. You don't have to justify why that employee shouldn't follow your instructions or not. Black men don't have to justify you following him or not. If you don't want to follow him, don't be with him. He doesn't have to prove a damn thing. If you don't want to follow his agenda, don't be with him. Go be with the man that you want to be with and stop complaining about every doggone thing. This is a capitalist free society. You are free to choose. Like Ram says, there's a lot of good black men that are stable and working. In fact, the majority of men out there are stable and working. There's a whole lot of good dudes out there that aren't being chosen because you are not sexually attracted to them. And that's okay. But you on the pages of all these dating coaches complaining about black men in the neighborhood when the bottom line is that you're not sexually attracted to them. And you're constantly complaining about the dudes that you are sexually attracted to that don't have the means to support you. You cry on everybody's shoulder about how come that dude is not going to do right. Or how come that dude won't take care of his child? Or how come I have 4 kids by the same guy, but he won't support the kid when he didn't support the first one because you won't own up to your own sexuality. I have to give men at least some credit for that. At least a guy, when he gets done wrong by his woman, raped through the courts, and we say, well, why did you get with her? Why did you stay with her? He'll say that her sex was good. He was attracted to her. That's why he did it. He won't beat around the bush and say, girl, I don't know. He'll be honest with you. He'll tell you that he screwed up and he let his dick get him in trouble. It's not for black men to examine your psyche. If you are sexually attracted to bad men or bad men that can't provide for you, you have to examine it. It's not for other men to come in and prove to you why you should be sexually attracted to them. Either you are or you aren't. And I will tell black men, especially black men that have something going on about themselves, to stop chasing these women that are not attracted to you. I've always said, if she's not with your agenda, you need to get rid of her. You shouldn't ask her to follow. Ram says the same thing. You should not ask a woman to follow you. You should not ask a woman to submit to you. You should not be bribing a woman to submit to you. Either she does or she doesn't. It's simple, and we need to make it simple. In other cultures, they don't play that shit. Either the woman submits or she doesn't. If she doesn't submit, she's out. Period. A pimp does not waste time on a woman that does not want to be a hoe. He doesn't waste 2 minutes on a woman that does not want to be a hoe. If she doesn't want to get with the program, she's out. This old bullshit about black men haven't built anything or nothing like, okay. If you want to, if the people that have built something are white men, go find white men. If those are the men that you want to be with and you are sexually and physically attracted to white men, go be with them. You're not even with the submitting to the men, the decent black men that you have in your community already. But that's okay. You want black men to die and bleed to try to turn over a freaking society that they can't do. It's not possible for them to do because you want to rationalize your choices about who you're sexually attracted to. If you want to sleep with Pookie and Ray Ray and Abdullah on the block like Chrissy was talking about, go do that. Be honest. Say to black men, I like Pookie and Ray Ray. I like Abdullah on the block. These are the men that I like. And go destroy your community because that's what you're doing. Because you don't have control of your vagina. And now you're trying to beat up on decent men who are trying to be decent, who were taught to be decent, because you don't have control of your vagina. You don't have control of your tingles. You're making tingles the qualifier. And that's okay. I'm not beating you up for it. But the thing is, be honest about it. Be forthright about it. Own your sexuality. The United States and the Western world has given you control and ownership of your sexuality. Embrace it, but also be willing to take the consequences for it and let men adjust. Let black men adjust. Because once we do that, then we'll know. Then black men will know what they have to do, whether it's meet your standard or simply go someplace else and bring in other women. This is a country of buyers and sellers, a free market country of buyers and sellers. If you don't want the product that black men are selling, decent black men are selling, say so. I don't want it. You don't have to give a reason why you don't want it. I don't want it. I want this. So now we can go back to the black man. Don't bother with the women that don't want you. Don't bother with the women that don't want to buy what you're selling. Find women that do. For whatever color they are, if they're Hispanic, if they're white, if they're Asian, if they're foreign women, find women that want to buy what you're selling. If Keisha from the hood with the fat ass and the big titties doesn't like you, I would tell black men, leave Keisha with the fat ass and the big titties alone. If black women, when a guy approaches you and says, I don't date corny men, and you're corny, you do that enough times, the ELs, the educated lambs who you think that are corny will stop talking to you. Guaranteed. They won't even approach you. Especially educated lambs. If educated lambs that you know that you and the type of women that you are don't like them, they won't approach you. I've heard that from more than enough guys that are out there. And a lot of guys come to Rom's channel, my channel, Warning Game, to trying to figure out how can they get women to like them, because they've been told that if they do certain things and they act a certain way that they'll be attractive to women, which is a lie. What women should be telling these guys, and the same thing that me and Rom are trying to tell these guys, stop bothering with the women that are not attractive to you, are not attracted to you. I tell men all the time, it's better to get a 5 that's attracted to you if you want to truly be happy than get a dime that isn't. That's old man's game, because we've been through that. We've already walked that path. We know what there's at the end of the road, because we're sitting there. We're trying to yell back and tell you, stop bothering with the women that are not attracted to you. And if you do go after the women that are not attracted to you, you're going to get what you get. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you, especially that woman after she finished running over you and dragging you through the mud. She's not going to be happy with you. If you can't make her toes tingle, leave her alone. Stop debating with women that are not attracted to you. And women need to be honest. Just because you want to drive his car, live in his house, and get his resources, at least be honest and tell him that you're not attracted to him. And that's what you should tell all your sisters that are running these games, because you run these games and it ends badly for both sexes, because your daughters are going to pick up that message. That's what happens. That's how come the information never gets passed down to the young girls, because their mothers lie. They rationalize why they did stuff. They'll tell you that they fell in love with their father, and they thought he promised them that he was gonna be good and he was gonna do all these fantastic things, which is bullshit. Which is absolute bullshit. Women need to tell their daughters, especially older women need to tell their daughters the exact truth so that their daughters can be free of it, because their daughters are going through the same thing. Were sexually attracted to that guy for whatever reason, his swag, his looks, and his big dick, and he basically sexually penetrated you, and it penetrated your emotional core, and you got addicted to the man. You got addicted to the man, and all you could think of was having his babies. So you have a couple of babies by a guy that you absolutely knew that you shouldn't have babies by, but guess what? You felt under that sway of that drug addiction. You got penetrated by him. You got imprinted by him. You got psychologically, emotionally, and physically attached to the guy and addicted to the guy, and you couldn't help but have his children. And by the time you broke that addiction, it was too late. The children were 5 and 6 and 7 years old. So you bail out, try to find a decent guy that will help you raise the children. You lie to him, you lie to your children, you lie to your community, because you still have an itch for the same guy, the same no good guy that lied to you, that you said lied to you, and that you said was no good. And that really in your heart and in your vagina, you want to be with that guy. Well, I'm going to tell you, we've been on both sides. We've been the beta male lame, and we've been the Mr. Goodbar. And because we have mothers and we have respect to women, we haven't called you guys out on your bullshit. But like you say, this is 2017. The bullshit has to stop. It has to stop. The gender war has to stop. And the only way the gender war is actually going to stop is for women to be honest. Trust and believe. The men on the other side are being honest, because we are going after the simps. We're going after the hoteps. We're going after the blue pill guys. We're going after them hard in the paint. But those aren't the conversations that you listen to. You listen to the ones where your name is mentioned because you're trying to protect your fucked up reputations. You're mad because these dudes, like the mad bus driver and others, are telling them, go to women that choose you. Stop chasing after women that don't like you. They don't like you. Stop trying to build stuff for women that don't like you. There's a very, very not famous saying, but when I was 22 years old, I went with a woman that was 20 years older than me, and she loved me. And she wanted the best for me. She taught me a lot of things about women. She taught me a lot of things about female nature. And to this day, God rest her soul, I miss her sorely. Because a lot of discussions we had back then, some 30 some odd years ago, because she was my soulmate, she taught me a lot of things about female nature. She taught me a lot of sayings that I still use today. And one of those things that she told me way back then, that nothing I feed will bite my hand. Let me repeat that. If you don't remember anything else about this rant, nothing that I feed will bite my hand. And you wonder why black men don't want to be bothered with you, or black men shouldn't be bothered with you. No matter what the pro-black people say or the conscious people say, I understand why they say it. Because if the men bail out against these crazy ass women that we have nowadays, you won't have a black community. And people like Sergeant Willie Pete and others are basically begging and trying to challenge, shame, and beg black men to actually come back and take care of women that are ungrateful to them or that don't like them. They're begging black men, good black men, to basically bribe black women to be with them. If you give them enough, if you provide for them enough, you make them comfortable enough, you can buy your own women back. And I can say that is the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. That is the exact dumbest shit that I've ever heard. And any woman that wants to challenge this shit, I will personally open up a hangout for you so we can hash this stuff out. Either she's with the program or she isn't. Either she's with the program or she isn't. If she's not with the program, then she needs to step off and go someplace else. You are not going to lay up with Pookie and Ray Ray, who gives you nothing, It gives you absolutely nothing but babies, headaches, and dependency. And then come back over on the other side and demand that the decent black man provides you with a lifestyle like white women have. White men would not go for that. They don't go for that from their own women. If the woman chases bad boys and she has babies by bad boys, he is not going to tolerate her crap on the other side. She has no right to demand shit. You have no right to demand shit. If you are attracted to bad men, knuckleheads, dope D-boys, and Abdullah on the block selling bean pies, you have no right to demand from the guys on the other side that are doing other things that they do shit for you. If you are unhappy with Abdullah and you are unhappy with Pookie and Ray Ray, when you cross over to that other side and a man is going to provide a decent life for you, not a great life, but a decent life for you, you need to shut the fuck up and be humble. Because I'm going to give you some old school game now from old women, because the older women have no clue about what the fuck you guys are on. If you got a baby by another guy, and my daughter's going through this shit, if you have a baby by another guy, you made a fucking mistake. You had let Pookie and Ray Ray fill you up with a couple of babies that you can't take care of. And you find not a baller, but a decent dude. A decent dude that will help you with those babies, help you raise those babies into adulthood. And you know that you fucked up. You need to cross over to the other side, accept whatever the fucking program that he has for you, whatever the fuck it is, shut the fuck up, get humble, and get with the goddamn program. And if not, you need to cross back over to the other side and be willing to accept whatever it is that them dudes are handing out for you. You don't have a fucking choice. And black men need to hold these goddamn women accountable for this shit. If you're going to, trust me, I'm old school. I am old school. I was raised by old school folks. It's not something that I in fact, I learned this from women. I learned this from my mother and my grandmother. And it's something that you should teach your sons if you care about them. Because it wasn't the guys that came up with the term ready-made family. Because I guarantee you, the people that do not want their sons to marry a woman with children are the mothers of those sons. Because they don't want their sons to raise offspring from a man from another family. Those aren't her kids. White women and Asian women adhere to that. Those are not my grandchildren. I want children from my bloodline. So, regardless of whether that dude is an engineer making $150,000 a year or a dude making $15 an hour, if that dude is willing to help you in your lifestyle, help you have a decent life, not a great life, but a decent life, you need to shut the fuck up, get with his agenda, and be humble. Otherwise, go back to the other side and deal with whatever yourself. That's how come chicks that are 92 octane, they earn $100,000 a year, stay single. That's how come dudes don't even bother with them. Either you're going to get with the program or you're not. If you're not going to get with the program, you're not going to be happy. Don't waste the man's time. Go back to the other side. If them dudes are complaining, we'll work on that. Especially the guys that subscribe to me. We'll work on that. Well, a foreign woman is not going to be, can fool you, and she's going to do whatever. She's not going to do anything more than what you're doing. She's probably going to give the dude less headaches because she's going to be a little bit more grateful to come to the United States because it's better than where she came from, and she knows that. Whether she monkey branches to another guy or not, thing is, while she's with that guy, she's going to shut the fuck up and get with his program. That's how come white men like Asian women, foreign Asian women so much. She's going to shut the fuck up and get with his program. My brother's been married to a Filipino for 30 years. At the end of the day, she's going to shut the fuck up and get with his program. And my brother is not the outgoing alpha male. He's not. My brother is nothing like me. Because if I counsel men, women would not like me. They probably don't like me now anyway, because I'm a no nonsense guy. I'm a Gnostic. I am no nonsense. I am no nonsense with my children. I'm no nonsense with my women. I'm no nonsense with my mother. That's how come the women around me are careful when they discuss stuff with me, because I'm no nonsense. Ram, bless his soul. There's a whole lot Ram could say. Ram doesn't say it in public. He does not say it in public. Me and Ram know what the deal is. Iyanla Vanzant knows what the deal is. She can't say it in public because that's how she makes her money. You deal with enough women, you know what the problem is. Women know what the problem is. They're just too cowardly and dishonest to admit what the problem is. If you're not attracted to the guy, you're not attracted to the guy. But if you came out and say it, most guys would not approach you anymore. White men don't like it because the attitude that you have are bleeding over to their women. But in 2017, with DJ Trump coming in office, we don't have time to play with this shit. We're gonna have to get down to basics, and black men are gonna have to get down to basics. If that chick is not on your program, she is not attracted to you. That's what you need to find out. You need to be honest with her. You need to ask her point blank if she's attracted to you. The first thing I tell, I would say Calypso, Oregon, but that is my man O'Shea Dukes Jackson's word. Okay, so in other words, I'm getting ready to preach. I tell young men all the time, because I've been through this. Been through this with my fiance. That's where I learned it from. If you can't make her toes tingle and you can't make her orgasm, you need to find you another woman. Point blank, period. Don't negotiate. Don't haggle. Don't discuss. Don't go to counseling. If you can't make her orgasm, especially a black woman, because black women are way more susceptible to this than other women. It is what it is. You need to kiss her on the forehead, wish her well, and put her back on the shelf so some other man can pick her. Don't even be bothered. With other women, other races of women, other cultures, it's not as big a deal. If she's not gonna, from other cultures, trust and believe, she's not gonna leave a man that's a decent man that's providing for a dude that ain't. She's just not. Whether she cheats or not, that's a different story. But the thing is, she's not going to leave you. You don't have to worry about having sex with her. If you're at home and you're married to her and you're taking care of the family and you want sex 5 times a week, she's going to give you sex 5 times a week. She's not even going to squawk. She's not going to raise her voice above a whisper. You tell her what you need, she's going to do it because she has made a decision. She has made a commitment. She honors it. Black women are not susceptible to that. They get swayed by their vaginas. And now white women are being swayed by their vaginas. If you are a EL, especially an EL, and you're a man about something, and you get in a relationship with a woman and you have to negotiate terms with her, just like Lawrence, it's better, whether you might be in love with Mona Issa, it's better to get a Tasha that's into you than get an Issa that isn't. And if a woman says is finding fault with you for whatever reason, because she says you don't make the grade, that's bullshit, because she sleeps with men that are not even half of what you are. And she doesn't require him to pay or do shit. I've been there.